So if you could go to the registrar's office, request a copy, and then bring it by our office, or just have the registrar send it to us, that'd be great. We'll put it in your folder and we'll have that. And then the last thing that you need to do to prepare for the internship is you need to polish your interviewing skills. You know, these internships, you interview for them. They're just like any other job. You interview for them. And so our office, if you look on page 12, we've developed some resources that can help you get better as far as interviewing goes. There's an online workshop, but the one I want to highlight is our mock interview program. One time a month, every month, we invite employers on campus to come, and it's usually during the evening that they'll come and they'll help students practice interviewing. Students sign up for 30-minute slots. They sit down with one of these employers, and the employer will take them through a practice interview. And at the end of the interview, they'll give them feedback on, man, you did this great. Here's an area that you might want to work on, and they'll give you good, constructive feedback. They love working with college students. I mean, it's really a positive experience. I mean, you'll love going through a mock interview with them. And I encourage you to take advantage of that. These guys, they interview people all the time. They're professionals at it. They know what works and what doesn't. They can give you very, very good advice. So if you're interested in that, there's information on our website. You can even sign up on our website. All the dates are on our website. It happens every month, one night a month. And I would encourage you to do that. You get great interviewing help, but the other thing that you get is you might develop a contact in your field. We try to be matchmakers in our office. If a student signs up for a mock interview, we try to place them with an employer that potentially could use that type of student. And sometimes I'll notice a student does a mock interview with an employer, and then a semester later I see that that student has an internship with them. You know, what happened was they connected during the mock interview, they stayed in touch, and one thing led to another, and it developed into an internship. You know, we try to help facilitate and make that happen. So that's another good reason to participate in the mock interviewing program, is just to make contacts and to develop your network. So anyway, that's the last thing you need to do to prepare for an internship, is polish those interviewing skills. If you look on page 13, once you've done those steps, the next thing you need to do is you need to look and review our job listings, and if there's anything that looks interesting to you, let us know, and we'll send your resume to the employer. And what we do is we send the resume and say, here's a student who's interested, contact the student directly if you want to interview them. And that's usually how the process works. And remember, I told you that Carl is out there looking for jobs. We're all out there looking for jobs. So this list of online jobs changes all the time. So you need to be looking at it. And as you see things that you're interested in, let us know and we'll forward your resume there. Page 14, proactive steps you can take. Some students want to be more proactive in the process. I mean, some students, they just look at our listing of jobs and tell us which ones they want their resume sent to, and that's great. Other students want to do that, plus they want to do some stuff on their own to find an internship. And in our office, one day we brainstormed on what are some good ideas that we could give students who want to be more proactive. And we came up with 4 ideas. These aren't the only 4 ideas there are, but we think they're pretty good. And I don't necessarily expect that you would do all of these ideas, but what I want to do is I want to float these by you. And maybe one of these sounds like something that you could do, or maybe 2, I don't know. But even if there's just one idea that you think, I think I'll try that, I think that'll help your chances of finding an internship. So page 14 lists the ideas that we have, and our first idea is kind of detailed on page 15. We call it Clarify Your Career Choice. Sometimes I talk with students, and you know, every job looks good to them. You know, they don't really know what they want to do when they get out of WT. Everything looks good. It's just wide open. And sometimes there's so many choices sitting before them that it really just kind of paralyzes them, and they don't know where to go, and so they don't go anywhere. Our office has career counselors that help students narrow that choice or narrow that career field. And once you do that, it's a lot easier to find a job. Once you kind of know these are the types of jobs that really fit me the best, it's much easier to find an internship or a full-time job. So if that's you, if you think, you know, I have no idea, everything sounds good to me, I would encourage you to call one of our career counselors. The telephone number is on this page. but call, make an appointment. They're awesome at helping students figure out, here's the types of jobs that might be a better match for you. As you can narrow that focus, it'll help you in finding an internship or a full-time job. Our second idea, it's called Develop a Top 10 List. And at the top of my page there I wrote, if you aim at nothing, you'll hit it every time. You know, sometimes I talk to students and they're looking for an internship, or they say they're looking for an internship, but they're really not doing anything. They're just kind of sitting there, kind of waiting for somebody to tell them about something, or just waiting to hear about something, but they're not really taking any specific steps to find an internship. What we encourage students to do is we encourage them to, on paper or on a computer file, list the top 10 companies that you want to work for. And then start at the top of that list and start with that one company and start specifically checking into, hey, do they have an internship program? You know, what's the steps to apply? What are the qualifications? How do I do this? And really just start with that list and start working off your list. And you know, that's a really, really simple idea, but if you have a list and you're working off of it, you're taking steps, you're moving in the right direction, and a lot of times people find things just by being a little bit more proactive like that. So I would encourage you to do that. Pages 16 and 17 kind of give you some ideas of maybe where to find company names to put on your list, or find ideas of companies that you might like to put on your list. So, but that's our second idea, is to develop a top 10 list and start working down that list. And our staff will help you develop your list. We'll give you ideas of other companies that you might want to put on your list. So partner up with us. We'll be happy to help you put together this list. Our third idea is on page 18, and it's just called networking, and I'm sure you've heard that term before. But networking is the most effective way to find an internship, or to find a full-time job for that matter. And all networking is it's an informal method of making contact with people and letting them know that you're looking for an internship. Another way to think of it is it's just informal conversations with people about jobs. When I tell students about this, a lot of times students will say, give me some examples. What does that mean? Or what does that look like to have informal conversations with people about jobs? And I've come up with 3 different examples of what that might look like. One example is maybe a student goes into a faculty member's office during office hours, sits down and says, I'm looking for a marketing internship in Dallas this summer. Do you have any ideas? Know anybody? Heard of any contacts? Here's my resume. Could you pass it on if you hear of anything? That's it. 2 minutes maybe, conversation. Doesn't have to be a 20-minute conversation. It could be that simple, that easy. Another example of what it might look like, maybe I contact my Uncle Bob, who lives in Dallas, who's in the business world there. And maybe I just call him on the phone and say, Uncle Bob, I'm really looking for an internship this summer in Dallas. Do you have any ideas? Anybody that might be looking? I'll email you my resume. If you hear of anything, could you forward it on, or could you just call me and let me know? That's it. It could be a 2-minute conversation again with your uncle in Dallas, and just to let him know what you're looking for. And the last example that I give students is maybe 2 students are sitting in class before a lecture starts, and one student leans to the other and says, man, I'm really looking for an internship in Dallas this summer. Have you heard of anything? Do you know of anybody that's done that? That's it. That's networking. So it's just short, little conversations, informal conversations with people. Really, everybody that you come into contact with, you need to let them know, hey, I'm looking for an internship. Do you know anybody? Sometimes you find great job leads from the most unlikely sources. So talk to everybody. Your faculty, your friends, the janitor, secretaries, anybody that you run into contact with, let them know, and you'll be surprised at where you can find leads. On that page 18, we also list a couple of videos or DVDs that we have. So if you want to go explore networking more and get some more ideas on how to do that and some good strategies, there's a video called Networking from Scratch, a college student's guide to building contacts. And there's also one called Tapping the Hidden Job Market. Those are excellent. All you have to do is contact our office, call us, tell us that you want to watch it. We'll reserve a time on one of our computers where you can watch that.